5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
Jesus Christ, my eyes are burning. I don't know why it's never that late. This is considered crack of dawn for me, and it's not. It's about 9:30 p.m. But for me, this is crack at, well, for doing these anyway. Not in terms of waking up. That'd be insane. Bottom of the barrel today. It's bottom of the barrel. There is nothing happening. It's dry. So I'm kind of just talking about personal interest. I've been watching a lot of sports. As always, those sports usually being Formula 1, football, and kind of athletics now is kind of jumping in there. I don't know if any others will ever come into the picture anytime soon. I mean, for a very long period of time, it was going to be football and football only. There wasn't a world where there would be interest for anything else. Now it's Drive to Survive. Formula 1 snuck in there. And athletics is one that I don't even really feel like I need to watch. I kind of just like keeping up to date with what's going on. Diamond League, I've been kind of watching some of that. Diamond League is like, it's like their version of the season, I guess. Like you have like the big championships in between, I guess, but like, or bigger trophies to win in between. But it's like you go to different meetings around the globe. You do the races like every couple of weeks, and it leads to like sort of wherever it's being held for the final, and then you get your trophy that looks like a fuck off big wedding ring. Basically, it's not a ring; it's a trophy, but it's got a huge diamond looking rock on the top. And let me just tell you, and you know, this is obvious anyway, but especially in athletics where they're stingy with the money, of course it's not a real diamond. When I say big diamond, I mean like the size of my head, so of course not. You know, athletics ain't exactly ludicrous. Ludicrous? No, ludicrous means crazy. Lucrative. But I googled it like the other day. I feel like a top athlete, if you're winning races, because it does have to, like, obviously you get sponsored and stuff like that. They're going to help you travel out and do all that kind of shit, and not have to, you know, work in Greggs while being a sprinter or something, right? So you'll have your Nike, Adidas, your New Balance, right? Sponsor. But then you're kind of getting paid from like the tournaments on like how well you're doing. So I think if you get to the final, and this is just in the Diamond League. The Diamond League is why people. It's why I guess the athletes love it. I need to stand for my back. Is why I guess the athletes love it, because I'm pretty sure the US national like Olympic team get money for winning gold at the Olympics, or they get money for finishing second or whatever, right? But I'm pretty sure like the UK, the GB team give their athletes no money. It's like just represent and be proud of representing. They're just doing it for free kind of thing. I think they're getting no money directly from like Team GB or something for like a good result. So where's the incentive? You know, you look at teams like America, they're the best in the world because they're the biggest in the world, and other reasons, Athletic Nation. But also there's incentive there, you know, and that kind of stuff would help. But you know, aside from that Diamond League, yeah, you can like if you win a race, you'll get like, let's say 10 grand if you win. If you come second, 8 grand, third, 6 grand, and kind of just drops down to about 8, where you can pick up like a grand or something. And it's like, you got to think about it. If you're like good, okay, race here, race there, 15 grand there, 10 grand there, 15 grand here, 20k there. It's like decent. I think like a top athlete, they were saying, off of just like, they could make, you know, top sprinter can make sort of like 300 grand a year maybe. You know, if you're getting good sponsorships here and you're doing like ads, you could probably get more money if you was, you know, if you market yourself well. But just like, you know, this is what internet said. I'm not sure how they're divvying that up, but you know, from sponsors and just consistently doing winning races. But you could very easily, even if you're like a top athlete, because like the best British sprinters, realistically, if you look at the women's side, they have some of the best British sprinters they've had in history, because I'm pretty sure 2 at least of the 3 current like sprinters are the only British female sprinters in history to run sub 11 seconds, and they're a part of the current squad. So that must suggest we've got the best crop we've ever had. And even the current sprinters, they can't crack top 6 in 100 meters or top 7. I think in the Diamond League final that was yesterday, I think they finished out of 8 or 9. I think out of 9 runners, they finished 7th and 8th. So you got to think, you're considered the best in your country, and you know, Dina Asher Smith was one of them, right? So like, considered the golden girl, considered like you're the face of it, right? So you're a big name, but it's like you're going to that kind of race and you're picking up like $2,000 for it, and you got to think about it. You know, you got to pay to fly. It was in Eugene, America, and this was a week after sprinting in like China, which was a week after sprinting in Austria. So it's like you got to go pay for these flights and stuff. I don't know if the league's paying for it. You probably got to pay for yourself. You got to pay for like your trainers and your fitness programs and just life and shit. So if you're not like hot, even if you are good, if the competition is just too high, you're not making money in that way. You better hope your sponsors are good. And you better hope you're shilling to shit, because you got to be putting yourself out there if you want to be getting that bread and getting that money. You know, but I guess you get to travel. My eyes really are just burning. It's crazy. They're watering like crazy. Yeah, so I've been watching that. Well, I didn't watch them today. I just kind of looked at the results mainly. I'm becoming familiarized with sort of the names: Ingebrigtsen, Femke Bol, Sharika Jackson, Sha'Carri Richardson, Hansel Parchment, Duplantis. I can't remember his last name. The pole vaulter. That's right. This ain't just running. Patrick Vorholm, I want to say. You know, I'm getting there. And then Formula One, which is, oh my god, if you watch Formula One, you know how great this is. But the king is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. To be fair, I thought Max Verstappen hadn't won a single race this season yet. It turns out Perez won a race earlier on, like one of the first two races. And I must have just completely forgot that / blocked it out of my mind. Because I thought Verstappen has won every single race this season. He was like trying to be invincible, Arsenal style, right? And you know, we were about to watch a guy like go a whole season unbeaten. I thought that's what was on the cards. It wasn't. It still would have been impressive if he won like most of them. He still is going to win most of them, but you know, that's what I thought was on the cards up until like very like yesterday. But no. But regardless, it's just nice to see somebody else win, and by far, it was at least it was the first non-Red Bull win, and like. Regardless of if you like really enjoyed Monza for like the inner sort of conflicts and dramas of that, or if you really liked Zandvoort this year for like the rain and what that threw up, and then my memory forgets if you really liked Silverstone, sure, but you know what was the one constant in all those races? The winner. Max Verstappen being the winner. And today, you cannot deny how fun it was, because people always make up these hypotheticals. He's like, oh, actually, if you actually just ignore Verstappen, this would be an exciting season. Look how close it is. If you just ignored Verstappen, this would be a really close race. Look how close everyone is behind. And then today, we actually got to experience that. Verstappen wasn't there. And from Sainz to then Russell and Norris, that's not the actual order. Like Sainz, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc just outside that, who had Verstappen pushing him. You know, that is like 4 minimum, 6 maximum drivers all fighting for a win. Well, no, let's not push it down to the Red Bulls. Let's say, Max not being there, that is the 2 Ferraris, the 2 Mercedes, and a McLaren all fighting for the win in that race. And it's like, it's fun. It's like, oh my god. It was such a breath of fresh air. Like, I didn't realise I needed this so much. Oh my god, it's just so nice. I want to say here's to many more, but you kind of feel like it's going to be back to normal broadcasting later this week in Japan. But I went to say Japan. I don't know why, as if this J is silent. But in Japan, I don't know where they hold it in Japan. Am I saying Japan weird? I think I've just said it too many times. I don't know where they hold it in Japan, but well, the track's called Suzuka. Is there a place called Suzuka? Are other tracks called? Is there a place called Monza? Yeah, there is. I think. Is there a place called Canada, Montreal? Right. But Silverstone. It's not a place called Silverstone, right? I mean, I guess it's in a place called Suzuka. It makes sense. Or what else would Suzuka mean? Or is that a brand? Or is Suzuka like a car brand? Don't know. I mean, Mitsubishi. Anyway, yeah, it was nice. It was just nice to see Max off there, kicked off the top after, he was there to be shot at in qualifying, and they made it work. They made it happen, and I'm here for it. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But yeah, aside from that, I was scrolling TikTok, not TikTok. I barely use TikTok. I just let it get reposted to Instagram or Twitter or something. I just let the world do its work and let it filter out the ones for me and let them just trickle down to like Insta or Twitter, and I accept just that being my infill and say, are they okay? This is what the world wants me to see because it's crept into my life. And I was just looking for something. Anything interesting? No, not really. I saw some girl. She was on a platform and she was like posing, and she wanted like the sort of a cool video for like posing while the subway, no, the London Underground train, the wind as it whishes past, sort of making like a cool video. And she was like, oh, people kept walking in front of it, ruining my shot. I had to do it again and again. And then she captioned it like, is it that hard to, when you see someone recording, to just walk behind them or just wait 10 seconds so they can record what they're recording? Is it that hard? First of all, I don't believe there's people who genuinely tweet something like that and not see how that is the dumbest shit ever. Like, when people tweet certain stuff and you're like, this must just be for interactions in a way. Not saying it's like satire, but like because they're not intentionally doing it as some kind. Yeah, it's not like a joke, but they tweet it, and maybe they do believe it, but like it's not whether you believe that to be true or not that is the issue, but it's the lack of like self-awareness or like the most people, when they have a hot take, they know it's a hot take, right? And you say it knowing, I want to preface this knowing people might not agree, but like on Twitter sometimes you get people saying some shit that's just like, and they say it in a way that's like, oh, everyone's going to agree with this surely, then that's why I'm tweeting it, because people don't want to agree. And it's like, what are you going on about? It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. If I see tourists or not tourists taking a photo in front of something, of course I don't just walk right through it. Most people don't. Or walk behind it. You kind of try and walk behind the person taking it, or you'd wait and let them get the photo. I think there's a difference between standing on an underground platform. Not saying it wasn't like rush hour, but like where people are getting on and off the train, typically because they're trying to get somewhere, and we've got to do a little pile up for someone who we don't know how long you're recording for you to twirl in a circle for a TikTok just to look cool on TikTok. It's like, no, I think if you want to get this TikTok, you have to deal with the inconvenience of being in a busy subway station. I keep saying subway, like a train station, and the public. It's just a classic thing though, where it's like, it's a lovely day outside. There's not a sound either. No, it's a lovely day. It's a lovely day. It's like it's hot, but it's got that breeze. That's just needed, right? You're like, oh, my favorite podcast dropped a podcast, brilliant. And oh my god, that drink I bought yesterday that I love, I didn't finish it, and it's downstairs in the freezer. Let me go check. Yep, it's still there. No one's taken it. Brilliant. I'm gonna go get my drink. I want to go walk through the park. I'm gonna drink it there. Yeah, I am. It's a lovely day. I'm going to go my podcast in. It's going to be brilliant. And then you get to the park and everyone else is there because everyone else had the exact same idea. It's a lovely day. And they're going to go out and enjoy it as well. And you're like annoyed. You're like, what? What's the public doing out here in public, ruining my free time in the public? And it's like, this is what the public is. People will be there. It's annoying. I feel the same way, but I don't tweet about it because I understand that it's an illogical viewpoint. Bang. That's all. Not my best work, but we had to work with the materials we had, and they were mud and sand basically, and we built something here. And look, I'm not saying it's it's a cathedral, but it's something. It's shelter. I'm saying this was not that high, 251, 250, I don't know, but I'll see you in whatever's next.
With the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,